What's up, everyone? Hope you're well. Morning, Anna. The monkey is here. Where are you, monkey? She maybe is exploring. Can't find her. Oh, she's here somewhere. I like Rocket, yeah. I haven't looked at SoFi, really. Should I? Shall I? Any stocks anyone wants me to look at? I don't look at commodities or bonds too closely, no, sorry. I mostly look at biopharma and software. Speaking of which, I wanted to look at Takeda. This is a Japanese stock a little bit. Chugai and Viatris, Royalty Pharma, a couple that I haven't looked at in a while. I have to get up to speed. More interested in crypto than commodities. I just don't trade commodities, man. I don't know what to tell you. Constellation's cool. Let's look at some software companies. I want to look at some of the exciting biotech companies too. So many things to look at, not enough time, right? Should we look at Uber? That could be fun. What do you think? Or JD? JD would be cool. Yeah, I don't think Ginkgo is going anywhere. Morning, Ali. Visa, MasterCard, Sony or Netflix, Schrodinger. Maybe look at Hexagon. I really wanted to look at Hexagon for a while. Oh, Datadog had an outage? That sucks. Grab. IBM. I have a new cat. Have you guys seen her? Just give me 1 minute, everyone. I got a pretty clear schedule today. I was programming all day yesterday. I programmed for a record 10 hours. That's non-stop coding. I was working for like 18 hours, but 10 hours of code editing. So I have a timer that actually counts. It specifically counts the amount of time you spend typing. So background, it doesn't count, but if you're actually coding, it looks at that. I think AI is reality, not hype. I mean, seems pretty obvious if you use it. I don't really follow esports. I don't really play either. Need a code review. Yeah. What's going on with Credit Suisse? Trashy is with my father. She likes him better. I started programming when I was a kid. I spent entire summers programming my 486. So it's been a long time. Intuit. Where do I have Intuit in here? Fintech. Makes sense, sort of. Pinduoduo, do you guys know them? I really have to look at Pinduoduo. Huge market cap. How about PayPal? Booking. Fiserv. A lot of people don't think of some of these companies as traditional software companies, but if your whole company is built on a software product, you're a software company. Like, you could argue Uber is more of a logistics company. I mean, if it's a company that uses software, is that really a software company? would say Airbnbs. Okay, so we got a couple of candidates here. I'm thinking Metuan, or I'm sorry, JD, Pinduoduo, Uber, Quantopian's out of business, I thought. Yeah, it is a little weird to think of DoorDash as a software company, but they wouldn't exist without their software, right? Sony, Netflix, one of the payment processors, or PayPal. What do you guys want to look at? Those are your choices. Hexagon, the Swedish company, IBM, or Zoom. Sony, Netflix, Visa, MasterCard, ADP, PayPal, JD, Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo. Sony. Sony's a tough one. Sony's Japanese. Their financials are probably all fucked up. Alright. Pinduoduo or Sony? TikTok is 100% a software company. They got thousands of software engineers. I just don't want to bore anybody by looking at a Japanese company, but it sounds like everyone wants to do Sony. Oh, Get Good. I'm glad that you remember the old product. You can email me, or if you guys, I guess if you want to join Godel, I can get out the invite. Let me see, invites. It's not weird. They're not weird financial statements. They're just Japanese. All right, here's the form for Godel if you want to apply. All right, let's look at Sony. Sony Investor Relations. The stock is 12,000 yen, or the ADR, which is, I'm guessing, what most people want to trade. 8780. It used to be SNE, now it's Sony. 8780. Currency, 0 decimal places, and yen. Where are we, yen? Must have scrolled past it. Shut up, kitty. Shut up, kitty. I said shut up, kitty. I say shut up. Shut up, you little beast. You little beast. Everybody say hi. You little beast. Oh, Michael Jackson never owned much Sony stock. What are you talking about? Come on. I said shut up, kitty. What? You want food? Oh, you're a little baby and you're hungry? Okay. Alright, so here is the income statement. This is actually pretty straightforward. Remember, yen is about 100 to 1. Feed kitty? No. Not gonna feed the kitty. She's really growling. Okay, are you that hungry? Looks like she's pretty hungry. Alright, she's hungry. You guys wanna check out the kitty for a minute? And then we'll get to Sony. Sorry, everyone. If I don't feed this cat, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's take a look. Right, kitty? You hungry, right? Good. That's good, kitty. Come here. Oh. I'll feed you. What is this? Tuna feast? Oh my god, tuna feast? Tuna feast? Tuna feast and gravy? What? 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 Tuna feast? This a tuna feast? Oh my god, you're gonna have a tuna feast? Oh, it looks so yummy. Yeah, have some tuna. Yummy. Get some litter on you, kitty. Alright, there you go. Sorry for the interruption. I lost like 20 viewers during that. Let's go back to financial statement analysis. So now we just need to look at the shares outstanding. I'm going to save the file as a primary ticker, but I should probably just save it as Sony. Confuse anybody. Remember, you can download all my models on GitHub. So make it easy for you guys to follow my work. Welcome back, viewers who are distracted by my cat. I'm sorry. Sometimes I show the cat. She was crying for food, so I had to interrupt our financial statements for that. Okay, having a cat's kind of like having a kid. You know, it's not as important, but they still, you know, they need their food. You know, you're responsible for their little life. And maybe the cat never grows up and can take care of itself, though. All right, so I'm looking for the shares outstanding. It looks like it's 880 million, but I want to see the specific shares outstanding column somewhere. You know, these Japanese stocks are a little bit different from American. And in fact, this is a little bit different from most Japanese stocks. I've looked at Japanese stocks my whole life. Well, here are the shares outstanding. Okay. So it's a little different than I thought, actually. 1.238 billion, it looks like. So the market cap in yen is 14 trillion, which is about 120 billion, right? And the market cap in dollars is 108 billion, 109 billion. Okay, so I got my conversion a little off, but 109 billion. Look at the balance sheet as well. What's a BGN? Does anyone know what that is? BGN currency. A Bulgarian lev. Well, thanks, Angel, for the Bulgarian levs. Yeah, I mean, math degree is always a good degree. Teaches you logic. It's a lot more intelligent than a finance degree. But, you know, a finance degree doesn't hurt, or a business degree in general. Number crunching. Oh, that's great. That's cute. Just trying to see if we can glean anything off the bat, but let me take a look. I would study computer science at college. But it all depends on what you like, you know? It's not about, you can make money doing anything. Alright, so I also trying to figure out their fiscal. I agree, do it intrinsically motivates you. It's been a quiet year for me. I'm mostly focused on my startups. Well, my startup, I guess. Our Sony margins are actually pretty good. We're going to look into their split of businesses. There's financial services. Okay, so margins aren't that good because I'm going to include financial service expenses in COGS. Okay, that makes more sense. I was kind of surprised at how good the margins were. But they don't really have an R&D line, which is pretty impressive. So if you don't have an R&D line, that's a nice business. Koifin sucks. Koifin's just a terrible product. Doesn't have any news. Literally, doesn't have news. What's going on with my display? You can't put a quote monitor up. It doesn't do bonds. I mean, it's just... Koifin's terrible. Kitten is taking 5 minutes away. No big deal. I don't even pay attention to this little stupid idiot. Oh, she's starving. That's why she was crying so much, I guess. Putting numbers in the wrong columns again? I do that sometimes. It's like I did that. Error. Bit of a difference there. About 10% margin over at Sony. That's not very good. Doesn't mean it's like good for the stock or bad for the stock. I'm just talking about good for the business. Make sure you understand the difference there. Huge difference. Just because something is good for the business doesn't mean it changes the stock price. FinViz is good for like one specific module. It's like a poor man's equivalent of like one piece of a Bloomberg. That being stock screening, obviously. So, to me, I mean, a lot of these tools are just really incomplete. Like whale wisdom, it's like does one specific like function of a Bloomberg. Isn't that sad? Like, then you got to go to a totally different website for SEC filings. But if you don't want to use Bloomberg for ideological reasons, which I can understand, to be honest, or it's too expensive for you, which I also can understand, there's not a great solution, which is why we made Godel, or why we're making it. It's still not quite done yet. Oh, there's my food. Give me half a second. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, I think Kelvin's right about some of these things. SEC filings are all you need. But if you do want to look up news, if you're an active trader, sometimes looking up news and looking at stock prices and quickly being able to summon all the information you want, there is something, to be said for doing that. I don't think that's a bad thing. That's why most professional investors do use Bloomberg for that, so I don't think it's that bad. It's just very expensive, and you can't often log on because it's just such a difficult to use piece of software, and it's so old. So it also doesn't have any good quant features. The pricing relationship and contract is really annoying. It's not a problem if you work at a big hedge fund or something, but if you're a one-man shop or you're running a small fund or something like that, it's really cumbersome. Like if you go from needing 5 Bloombergs to 4, they don't let you just downsize to 4. It's really funny. Reuters is a good product too, for sure. I agree, TradingView is a great product. TradingView is a great product for charts. They have best-in-class charts. And we're going to try to give them a run for their money, but there's no doubt that they have a very, very good chart product. The problem is that's really all they have, right? So I know that, they're trying to do other things, but that's really it. I'm not going to go to Berkshire. I think the people who go to Berkshire are kind of groupies. I know a lot about Berkshire Hathaway, but I don't need to go to their meetings. If you have 4 employees, you need 4 Bloomberg terminals, and let's say you fire one of those employees because he recommended GameStop to you, then you have 3 employees, and you have 4 Bloombergs, unfortunately. You can't downsize. They don't let you stop using the 4 Bloombergs. They once came to me and they were like, yeah, you can't downsize. And I was like, what the fuck? I literally need less of these. And they're like, sorry. And I'm like, what am I going to do? They're like, can you well, can you give the assistant to Bloomberg? I was like, no, I can't give the assistant to Bloomberg. Yeah, I take the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway position, yes. Yeah, no 4 terminals per person, yeah. I'm not too big into DeFi. I think it's a little bit silly, to be frank. All right, let's take a look here. We have customers, whatever that is. You gotta love Japan. Oh no, okay, game and network. Okay, game and network. So this is PlayStation. Oh, I have to use my other keyboard. My modeling keyboard, not my typing keyboard. Oh, it's unplugged. Shit. Okay, never mind. That will not be being used. My keyboard doesn't have a number pad. Yeah, ChatGPT could be used to make money. I'm making money with it right now. All right, so music is now a fairly small business for Sony. Pictures, in other words, film, also fairly small business. So it's games and I guess what they're calling entertainment technology and services. I'm guessing those are appliances? Or like televisions and things like that? Not appliances, but TV. Imaging and sensing. I don't know what products go in what space, I guess, is the issue. And then we have financial. Okay. I'm not a member of VIC, but I've heard it's pretty good. If I were running like a fund or something, I'd probably be a member, but it's not my jam. I'm eating a cup of fruit. All right, so music, recorded music, entertainment. There it is. Televisions, audio and video, still and video cameras, and mobile. Okay, so I'm gonna break that out a bit here. TVs, audio, video, cameras, and mobile is, I'm guessing they sell phones? And then they have other. Maybe appliances, I don't know. But yeah, TV's small business for them. 250 billion yen. So what's that? 2 billion. Is that 2 billion USD? Yeah, I guess so. Per quarter, that's not that small. How many hours do I read a day on average? All day. Now, you're talking about reading books? I don't value technical analysis, no, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't or should or shouldn't. I mean, technically, I generally don't think it's useful, but if it works for you, it works for you, you know? Who am I to tell you otherwise, you know? Alright, so we're looking at their balance sheet now in yen. So it looks like they have about $1 trillion JPY. In cash. Maybe 1.6 trillion. Let's look at some debt. Oh, they have some debt. I would not put all my life savings in Tesla. Or Amazon. Don't put all your life savings in anything. You know, the human compulsion to bet it all is something you have to fight. I've had to learn to fight it myself over the years. It's irrational. It's crazy. And don't bet it all, you know? It's just a simple rule. One simple rule. Well, you can concentrate, but that doesn't mean betting at all. You know, nothing wrong with concentrating. 20% position, something like that. But you want to bet at all on something you can't control. Now, if you control the company, you own the company, that's a little bit different. Then you can diversify within the company. And then if you're buying a company that's very diversified, like Berkshire, then maybe you can think about, well, I'm not buying, you know, well, you know, once in a while you can make a tactical bet, Marcellic, but you have to you know, be willing to lose it all, which is very risky. So sometimes traders do it, but it's very, very risky. Soros gets out of trades all the time. He doesn't just double down all the time. He did that once. Don't confuse that for something they do every day over there. I know a lot of people that have worked for Soros over the years. That's not how it works. You can get fired for doing that pretty quickly. All right, so let's see. I'm kind of going to try to do the balance sheet excluding the financial services. That's probably the better move here. I do count cards. I'm banned from most Atlantic City casinos for counting cards. It's very easy. It's almost hard not to count cards. It's that easy. So, you know, I would just look at the cards and you can tell what's going to happen. I mean, it's within a stochastic, you know, obviously a stochastic limit. But they obviously don't like that very much. They use eight decks. They have a shuffling machine, all that stuff. No, they intimidated me. They send a bunch of guys to sit around the table with you and make you very uncomfortable. They don't take you into the back room unless you cheat or take a bunch of money from them or something like that. I was barely up, maybe a couple $100 before they started going in on me. Said, you know what, that's fine, I'll play poker. Alright, so they basically don't have any net cash if you look at the balance sheet excluding the financial services, which again, I'll do a deeper dive in the financial services some other day. But at least for this quarter, the holiday quarter, let's get the exact yen. Exact yen number. It's 136. Okay, so 25 billion in revenue for the holiday quarter. So probably a little under 100 billion in revenue for the annual for the whole company. You can see margins are around 10%. It's hard because they probably have a big holiday quarter. I develop my stuff myself and I outsource. Here's 9-month consolidated cash flows. Okay. Unfortunately, okay, hold on. Fortunately, it seems to be negative, which seems strange. It's very volatile as well. This is like I said, a fairly confusing company to get a good sense of. My dating life was less exciting before making a lot of money. I will admit that. We're looking at Sony. All right, so the forecast is they'll do a little less than 100 billion, like around 90 billion in revenue, and what, 10 billion in operating income, roughly? But net income of, I don't know, about 7. So the market cap is 109. So 109. Well, let's look at the yen over yen. It would be 17 times earnings. Shut up, kitty. I will say it's a very confusing financial picture. Games are only 36% of the company. Constant currency base is very important, yes. All right, I'll save this. Let's look at the prior quarter if we can. All right, at least they made this a little bit easy. hide this panel? Huh, huh. All right, let's take a look at, this is the September quarter. So this was fiscal Q2 23. This is fiscal Q3 23. We're in fiscal Q4 23. These are the Japanese fiscal quarters. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Actually, I do. I wish a lot of things on my worst enemies, but that's another story for another day. All right, let's take a look. Okay. That's helpful. I should look at Ford. You know, they have receivables, they have payables on financials, so sometimes keep that in mind. They have a finance business too, Ford. All right, gross margin 26%. Like high 20s, low 30s. It's interesting that you look at this like big conglomerate, right? 100 billion in revenue. They do games, music, movies, televisions, all kinds of crap. And the gross margin's around 30 cents. So it costs them about 70 cents for every dollar of product they sell. Pretty interesting. I should do the CFA. I don't think they'd let me. Get some haters. All right, so you can see the games were probably a little bigger than normal in the Q4 period. So, well, maybe not. But certainly for that one quarter, it was 37% of revenue. But for some of these other quarters, it was just more normal, like 27%, pretty consistent actually. Music is lumpy too. I guess it's based on whatever hits they have coming out. Whatever big artist. Although maybe it's not that lumpy, I don't know. We keep filling out the picture. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Did they do Avatar or was that somebody else? I think it was somebody else. Is Avatar Disney? Or DreamWorks? I don't know. Isn't it Sony DreamWorks? I'm not going to look at FaZe Clan stock. Too much of a meme, my friend. Looking at real companies only. We've looked at Amazon before. It's a very complex company, actually. Currency is, there's a lot of ways to account for it. But you look at constant currency changes mostly. I don't know, the intelligent investor, just a Mr. Market kind of concept, I guess. Okay, here's the profitability per business. This is really interesting, actually. Despite having a lot less sales, a lot of these other businesses are more profitable than Sony's main quote-unquote games business. So the music business is more profitable. It's actually technically the most profitable business, at least for that quarter. The hardest thing to think about with these bigger companies is just how much are they making investments that are obscuring earnings. That's the most important thing. And some of these companies make a long-term commitment to doing that, and they're artificially depressing their earnings, and you have to think about that. I do meet and greets all the time. Thanks for asking. I haven't done one since I've been out of prison, but I'll do a meet and greet or some kind of public event at some point. Oh, I'm actually going to be doing one on Friday. It's not a meet and greet, so to speak, but I'm going to this Republican event in New York on Friday. What's that, tomorrow? With Lucian Winrich and the people from Red Scare. I'm not afraid of dying alone without children, no. I don't have those kinds of problems. No plans for my birthday. I might repopulate the Earth. I just don't have the time for that. Negative risk-free rate. Is there such a thing? I don't know. If there's deflation, right? Do I want wife and kids? Sure, why not? I'm married to the game, though. You want to see my wife and kids? It's right here. Right here. Why? Because I keep it on me. HP 12C. Keep it on me. Keep it with me at all times. Keep that thing on me. Keep it on my hip just in case. Just in case some cash flows want to get discounted. I need the grippy. The grippy is... No, I know, but if rates are in the negatives, where's inflation? Where's the real equity, risk-free rate? I use Streamlabs. Do your siblings think like you? No, pretty different, I would say. What's so special about the 12C? Reverse Polish notation, motherfuckers. RPN. You. Chew. All right, we got another quarter in the books. although I wanted to get the TV, separate the TV business out. When I was a kid, the biggest appliance you could have in a middle-class household is a television. So me and my dad were obsessed with TVs and how many inches they were, what kind of color spectrum they had, and all that stuff. So eventually you realize that wasn't the be-all, end-all, but... Is Imaging and Sensing Solutions projectors? Or maybe they make chips? I don't know. Social isolation. I don't have social isolation. What's wrong with you? Why would you think I have social isolation? I live in New York City. All right, let's keep going. We need to do 2 more of these. We're looking at Sony, S-O-N-Y, and it's also mostly trades in Japan. So that's the main Japan stock ticker, which is 6758. All right, almost there. 2 more of these. Yeah, let me do the Sony, man. Tesla's a great company. I don't know about great stock. It's a good stock. Probably not a great stock though. All right, we still haven't even started our Sony analysis. We're just kind of glancing at the income statement. They've definitely grown in the last year, but that doesn't mean much. They could have shrunk every year before that, right? I'm also giving a speech, or what do they call it, a talk these days? Giving a talk next week at a venture capital auditorium, small conference about decentralized science. Small event, intimate. So you're also welcome to come to that in New York City. I think it's $5 entry fee. Maybe I should post an ad or something. A flyer. Okay. I don't think Novo's overpriced. The Madoff scheme was a very sad thing. What's up, WSB verse? Does money make me happy? No. Why would money make me happy? What a weird question. Oh shit, the legend! Living legend. Hey kitty, come on. Come on, my friend wants to see you, kitty. Oh, she's asleep. She's been very lazy lately. Little lazy cat. I created a new software program that I hope will be my biggest one yet. I made it yesterday. We'll see. I have to tell everybody about it when it's ready. It'll be maybe public tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. It's brand new. Only a couple of people know about it. It's not Godel, it's something different. I should probably be working on that right now, but I wanted to say hi to everyone. Got to keep the 12C. You don't have a 12C on you, what are you even doing in my hood? What are you even doing? I'm making a music video of me in the 12C. It's going to be my highly produced YouTube. It's going to get 100 million views. I'm going to do it with all my goon friends from jail. It's going to be like me in a hoodie, and a couple of thugged out guys in the street corner. And they're like, yo, Skrelly, what are you doing here? Aren't you scared to be around here by yourself without bodyguards? Like, nah, dog, that keeps it on me. And then the other guys can be like, ooh. It's like, keep it on. And then one of the thugs is like, you keep it on you? What do you mean you keep it on me? I said, I don't leave home without it. I always keep it on me. And the other guy's like, damn. But the one skeptical thug is like, what exactly are you keeping on you? 9mm or a Glock? I said, nah, son. And I start to take it out, and they're like, oh, Skrelly, don't take it out here. There's cameras. I'm like, good idea. And it kind of looks like a gun, almost. You could kind of confuse it for a gun. A New York City police officer would confuse it for a gun and shoot you. Okay, keep it right here in my breast pocket, like, got that thing on me. The glizzy, the 12, it's not a 9mm, it's 12C. Very different. I say, oh, you got the 9mm? Nah, I got the 12C. 12C? Is that some German shit? Get calculated, get discounted. Before you fuck around and get discounted. Calculate the yield to maturity on your ass. That's what one of the smartest guys I met in jail took me aside, and he was like, Skrelly, there's just one thing you got to do. He had a thick Jamaican accent, so I don't want to copy the accent, but he was like, don't become a gangster. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, I see how you're operating around here. You're starting to become like us. Don't do it. You're not one of us. Don't become one of us. Marley was a funny dude, but it's good advice. Speak and spell. Susan. His little kid's toys. You are the average of the 5 dudes you hang around, so exactly. That's the problem. In jail, you have to hang around the gulliest, dirtiest, baddest individuals on the planet today. God damn. Alright, we're almost done here. Sony. The most important one, the fiscal 2021 numbers. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the whole damn year. You ever looked at Sony? We're going to learn quite a bit about their business after looking through this PDF, which I'm uploading to my GitHub. Make sure you join the GitHub, github.com/Martin Shkreli. If you're not on GitHub, welcome to the 21st century. Rivers Cuomo, the singer of Weezer, one of my favorite bands, even he's on GitHub. There are kids on GitHub. So what are you doing if you don't have a GitHub account? Join today. GitHub.com. It's now owned by Microsoft. I played the Glockenspiel. Glockenspiel's gangsta. The accordion and the Glockenspiel and the harpsichord, the three least gangster musical instruments. Goddamn Glockenspiel up in this bitch. Got the goddamn Glockenspiel out. What does a Glockenspiel even look like? I gotta check that out. Okay, wait, this is the wrong chord. Okay. Glockenspiel. Use GitHub to follow repos. Duh. I'm old. Will they let me on GitHub? Yes, they will. Okay, it's a bell instrument. I didn't know that. It's kind of a keyboard, but it's kind of a xylophone, basically, right? Use tongs to play it. Oh, and if you really want to be in the 21st century, you got to join Hugging Face. You don't have a Hugging Face account, I don't know what you're doing. My Hugging Face account, amazingly, even though my GitHub is Martin Shkreli, somebody took a Hugging Face account of Martin Shkreli. On Hugging Face, I'm real Martin Shkreli. That's kind of sad when the niche machine learning tool has stolen your account name. I think Amazon's going to buy Hugging Face pretty soon. All right, let's see here, some fancy work. Kitty, wake up, Kitty. I'm going to wake you up, Kitty. She's so sad. She's so small, she's small. S-M-O-L, small. Why are you so small, Kitty? I hope she has a good dream right now. It looks like the March quarter is the least profitable, but I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah, okay, that's right. Taxes. Didn't know corporations pay taxes. All right. This looks like on average they've had, yeah, I mean it sounds like it's somewhere between 10 and 17 times earnings, which is pretty big delta. guess PS5 came out. Is that what happened here? Okay, interesting. Here's cash flow statement. So, okay, this is great. This is really helpful. So cash flow from operations for the full year, it looks so different for the quarter, but this reconciles everything pretty nicely, actually. And it looks like cash flow and net income are not wildly different, which they look like, unfortunately, they looked like they were quite different before. So this is basically means the company makes 1.1 trillion, made 1.1 trillion in cash in 2021, and made 1.2 trillion in cash in 2022. Now the market cap is, and that's in yen, right? So the market cap is about 15 trillion. So would you pay 15 trillion to get 1.2 trillion a year, possibly a growing 1.2 trillion a year? That seems pretty good, but is that free cash flow or not? We got to look at CapEx. Let's see. They do have some CapEx, so that changes the game a bit. So let's calculate what the CapEx is. Property for PP&E and other intangibles. I want to see what exactly is in there, but it's quite a bit, actually. So that's decreases free cash flow quite a lot. So now we're talking about, instead of 1.1 and 1.2 trillion, we're talking about 700 and 800 billion. So would you pay 15 trillion for 800 billion a year? That ratio is 19 times, roughly. It certainly depends on if that's growing or not, right? So WT81, you can follow my account and you can star my repos. And if you star my repos, you'll get updates on them, and you can follow the repos. Anyway, it's Martin Shkreli is my GitHub. So the music and pictures business is not necessarily a growth business, but okay, let's look at the income for those businesses. Okay, well, this is just revenue. Let's drop that down too. All right, 2656.278.2739.763. This is the gaming revenue. So this is probably, it's about 30% of revenue. But it's probably going to be a bit bigger for the next. Say it's 100 or something. Sure. Okay, got it. That makes more sense. Yeah, it's around 30% of revenue, no matter how you slice it. Music did grow. Some people really like the music business. I don't know much about it. Film grew, obviously, due to the COVID rebound. I think their electronics business is actually kind of the sleeper. It's a very large business. It's almost as big as games. It's probably not as profitable, but imaging. I still want to understand what exactly is in that imaging business too. All right, so those are the segments. They all grew. think they're all growing. Now let's look at this. This is really key. This is the income per business. I wish more conglomerates would do this. I wish Amazon would do this. This is the secret sauce behind Amazon, right? Is that you don't know what their actual retail business margins are. And I think they've been hiding and lying about their quote-unquote unprofitable retail business. I think it's quite profitable. They just invest a lot of money in things like Alexa and stuff like that that is not profitable. Certainly, if I were them, I wouldn't want Walmart to know what my margins were on retail. But when you hire people from Amazon and you interview people, you get to figure it out anyway. So, but also Wall Streeters may not get to know. All right, so really interesting mix here. All of the businesses are profitable. That's like some Japanese shit. You don't see that in America. Like every business is profitable. Sony's like always been like, I don't know, has it always been like some? I think it was a fairly well-run company, then it got a reputation for not being so well-run, and then now it's back. I think Dan Loeb attacked them briefly. The games margin is less than you would think. The games margin is not that different from the music. Well, the music margin's actually highest. Let's do the percentage. Games op margin, music op margin, pictures op margin, entertainment op margin, imaging op margin, financial op margin. Op is operating. All right, so games is only, and that's tiny, 13% margin. Music, pictures, entertainment is the lowest, which makes sense because they're commodity, not commodity, but they're consumer electronics is televisions, right? It can't be that profitable. Imaging, which is still like the one mystery unit, I don't know what they do. Margins are actually more in the middle of the pack. And financial is low margin. Okay, so the highest margin business is music and pictures. Games, imaging, and financial is more in the middle, or games and imaging, and then entertainment and financial are low. But it's amazing that all the margin profile is kind of relatively similar. There isn't one business that's like 50% margin and the other that's like negative 10. That's kind of neat. Seems like an okay stock, you know, neither here nor there. You know, I wonder what the business looks like in bad years when this PS5 cycle is not going their way. So that's kind of the next step for me, is to look at the annuals going back several years. And also mark down kind of like what are the release dates and stuff like that for PS5, and I'm assuming there'll be a PS6 someday, although I know these consoles cycles are kind of stretching out a little bit, and they're hitting different, as the kids say these days. Hits different. Oh, I uninstalled all my video games, by the way. I uninstalled Rust and League of Legends, so you won't be seeing any gaming content from me anymore. And I think you should do the same thing. You should delete all the video games on your computer right now. Why be a customer when you can be a hustler? Is there a better way to put it? Fortnite? I still have Fortnite up. I'm not gonna lie, I still have Fortnite. And whatever that little penguin does. That's my little penguin sleeping over there, by the way. That's my kitty. It's my little penguin. Okay. Ooh. Game of life, motherfucker. Aha, more cash flow. I don't like it when cash flow from year to year is different, but one year they say it's this, the next year they say it's that. Not good. Anyway, I think they divested the business and reconciled it that way, but it's interesting, they had cash flow of 900 billion yen, so it actually was closer to like 15 times earnings a couple years ago. So maybe they'll have cash flow of over 1 trillion yen this time around. I know they're guiding to something closer to that. That's kind of an interesting perspective. Let's look at games here. Definitely you can see the impact of the launch of PS5. Pictures, week before. Here's the operating income for this year. Wow, imaging and sensing. Yeah, so games is really not that profitable, whether it's a launch year or not. Just more revenue in the launch year. It's really interesting. You would think the games business would be really, really profitable in the PS5 console cycle or whatever, the new console cycle. It doesn't look like it. Let's get one more year. Okay, so here you saw they had, that was a down year, interestingly. Okay, 45.098. Cool, I think that's good enough. So that was down 5% year over year. Interesting. Very interesting. Cash flow, again, cash flow from operations, steady over 1 trillion. They do have big CapEx commitments, but wow. So, I don't know, it's like very consistent company. Obviously, with a large cap stock, that's what you get. It's like almost like a bond. Really reliable. You can see game revenue declined in 2020 because they had to do the transition from PS4 to PS5. And you can see we're going to have like record revenue for games. But I'm not sure we're going to have record profit. We'll see. So far the profit cash flow for this year has been kind of elusive. But it could be like the fat years of 23, of 24 and 25 could be the fatter years of profit. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like the gaming business gets more profitable towards maybe the later part of the cycle, but I'm just guessing. Look at the game's margin though, it's like fucking 13, 12, 13, 13, it doesn't move. That's all throughout cycle changes. You know, PS4, PS5, it's still 13%. I assume they have a plan to get that up higher, but look at the music margin in this year, 2019, 30%. I wonder what that's from. Maybe they got some big artist, some big hit. Interesting how low the pictures margin was, but maybe that was COVID, but like 2019 should have been no COVID. It looks like they've improved margins across the board throughout the company, which is pretty impressive. But cash flow hasn't changed, so maybe that's all just accounting gobbledygook. One more year? Why not? Supposed to be a franchise player. You're talking about practice. Practice? Practice. Talking about practice? Practice. Looks like 2018 was remarkably similar to 2019. Actually, it was a little less profitable. But other than that, remarkably similar, which is a big thing. Let's take a look at cash flow, though. Again, this company is just very tricky from an accounting perspective. Right? Cash flow is very different. Okay, so cash flow is like almost like a metronome. 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion, 1.1 trillion, 1.2 trillion. Just doesn't change. That's not a bad thing. Looks like CapEx though is like really small. They used to be really profitable. It's just so strange. See margins go up on the net income side, but cash flow kind of flat to down. Very unusual. Bigger CapEx footprint. But you can see they clearly have earnings potential of 1 trillion yen a year. Cash flow potential, I should say. Which on the current market cap of 15 trillion is, you know, it's pretty good for a slow grower, but so the average growth is say 5%, so earnings should grow say 7% with a little leverage. So 7%. If you told me you could buy a bond that grows its coupon 7% a year for 15 times, I'd buy it. But you know, I wouldn't write home to mama about it. It's nice stock, but not something you jump for joy about. We jump for joy about Trashy and Nibbles, right? We're gonna call her Nibbles, I think. We're trying the name out, seasoning it. Nibbles. Nibbles. Come here, Nibbles. Okay, looks like they had a bit of a different. Oh yeah, there's semiconductors. That's probably what. That's what I figured it was. They used to call it semiconductors, now they call it imaging. So they probably make chips for like televisions and projectors and things like that. they got out of the laptop business, right? Could be wrong. Pretty sure they got out. Looks like they sold one of their businesses here. It could have been laptops or phones, or maybe just declined rapidly. Either way. And now let's look at profit. Oh, look, so games was not very profitable at all in 2018, and that I think was mid to late cycle for PS4. But it looks like 2018 was just kind of a bad year in general. For them, of course. Yeah, it looks like music is like their best division from a profitability perspective, and arguably music doesn't quite give games a run for its money, but pound for pound it certainly does. And then music plus imaging is actually bigger than games in terms of profit. So games as a percentage of profit is, say, yeah, it's about the same as, honestly, revenue. So I don't know, verdict on Sony is it's okay, I guess. You know, not something to write home about, but could be an okay stock if it gets cheaper, or certainly worth paying attention to given their status in the ecosystem of several different spheres of influence, as they used to say. Cool, that was fun. What's next? I want to look at a biotech. Let's look at a biotech stock. We got some requests from my fellow Godelians. So CRISPR is one request. One of our power users, Lau Securities, wants me to look at CRISPR, so I'll have to do that. When you join Godel, you get all my analysis for free. So that's my promise to Godel users. You have to join Godel and ask there. Sorry. Godel is up and running. We're on it right now. All right, so where's CRISPR? Is CRISPR at 47? Really? What happened to CRISPR? Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Wait, how'd I get that in there? There's a special secret code? Maybe it's a bug. Either a bug or a secret code. I can't even remember how to use my own system. There's like a code that you can hit and you get the terminal in the window, but I forgot how to do it. I think it's a bug. Oh, poor kitty, come here. Oh, you sneezy. Oh, you sneezy. Come here, my friends want to meet you. Come here, kitty. Right now. I got some treats for you too. Come show the people. She's very shy. Come show the people. Come here. She's looking at me like I'm an idiot. Come here. All right, you know what? Come here, Mama. Oh, that's a good kitty. That's a good kitty. Yes, that's a good kitty. Yeah, you're sad. You're mad. You're mad. You're mad at the people. You're mad at the people. Yeah, what? What's up? Why are you so small? What? You trying to meow? That's a weak meow, kitty. Wah, wah, wah. Tell the people. Tell them your problems, kitty. Oh man, this kitty's getting mad at me. She doesn't want to be held up like Simba. You're just a little runt. This is what you are. You're just a little runt. You know that. You're just a little runt. That's what you are. That's what you are. Yeah. You're the run of the litter. You were the last pick, kitty. Explain that. Explain that to these people. Explain that. I was the last pick. They got my brothers and sisters first because I'm so ugly. I'm a little ugly. Yes, I am. It's a skinny kitty too, I know. All right, let's go to CRISPR. I love her anyway. I don't care if she's ugly. That's my girl. You can call my girl ugly if you want. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You want to chunk her up? You want to chunk you up? Gonna need to chunk you up. I have to chunk you up. My little love. You're my little love. My 2-pound love. I think she farted on me. She is a little ferret. Yeah, accounting is the language of business. What is going on here? Okay, good. She's not even ladylike. All right, so CRISPR has fallen quite a bit, which is what I predicted. I even wrote in a blog in jail that I was short CRISPR, and it was a very painful position because it would not go down. And it's finally down a bit. I don't think these guys have any drugs, which is not good if you're a drug company. Turns out you need those. You need a link for Godel. Give me 1 second. I post it every now and then. Make sure you don't miss it. If you miss it, you're shit out of luck. There it is. Join Godel. Talk to me 24/7. I'll answer any question you have. And I will completely ignore you on this chat. But if you talk to me on Godel, you can ask me anything. Any stock, I will work for you for free. Amazing, right? Well, you have to get a social media following somehow. Let's see. CRISPR, hey? Let's look at CRISPR. It's not really intended for mobile. If you got rejected from Godel, rest in peace. Hater, rest in peace. What? They thought it was rented, kitty? What? Then you got the new Lambo? Oh my God, kitty. Hater, rest in peace. Hater, rest in peace. They thought it was rented? You don't rent cars, kitty. Alright, this is ridiculous. The SEC website is crippled because it loads all this XBRL. You can put, be honest with your application. If I detect that you're lying in your application, I will reject your application. I was looking at Estelis a little while ago. Correct. Alright, this is CRISPR. Its market cap is 3.7 billion. That looks more fair. At one point it was like 7 billion or some bullshit. Godel is my new financial platform. It's similar to Bloomberg or Koifin or Yahoo Finance or Thomson Reuters or TradingView or whatever. Okay, so CTX 110 is their lead product, but I think this product sucks. People don't really need this kind of thing. CD19, CRISPR. There's 100 ways to modulate CD19. I just put the link for the Godel beta. You bastards. Yeah, it's also called Exocell. That's the main name. Oh, it's not CD19. It's, I got this all backwards. Exocell is different. Exocell is their sickle cell product. Sickle cell beta thal. Which again, with lymphodepletion, it's not what people want. It's not what the people want. People want to do a whole bone marrow transplant for sickle cell? I don't think so. I mean, some people maybe. You want to be in the hospital for 4 months, recovering in a clean room? I ain't doing that. Just give me some OxyContin. Fuck out of here. And you know this cancer shit's not gonna work. Cancer's too slick to be caught up by this stuff. Students are welcome in Godel. Students will eventually be traders and vice presidents, so. Alright, yeah, so this is like the Bluebird problem. Like, a lot of cool technology, a lot of sort of half-interesting drugs, but to be successful in pharma, you need, like, one really interesting drug. Yeah, I've always been skeptical of this company. But maybe part of the reason is their stupid name that has CRISPR in it. CRISPR Therapeutics. I have to go soon, so I don't know if I could do a full DCF, but in biopharma, DCFs are pretty quick and easy. You have to sort of look at the revenue potential more than anything else. Crispier Therapeutics. My stomach's kind of killing me, so that's one reason I should probably go. Okay. $2 billion in cash, so that probably makes the bull case a little better. They also, I think, Vertex has Exocel, right? So, if I'm not mistaken, so it's really not their product anymore. So that's not so good. They don't have debt, I'm assuming. No. Yeah, so half the market cap is cash. That's really worrisome and telling. I feel like I'm making a rap diss song about this, like Rick Ross. I knew this company was bullshit when I met him, when I met you. Never understood you. Then you came through to phase 2. Then you hit phase 3. Etc., etc. Godel his goal is to cover frontier markets, absolutely. We have real-time quotes for Japan, Germany, and eventually looking at every market, including Africa, Malaysia, different Asian frontier markets. So if it's got an API, we can put it in. So Intilia, I think Intilia will go up. I mean, I didn't say it was going to go up tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen on the stock market on any given day. But I think, you know, roughly within a year or so, Intilia should have doubled or tripled by then. But I could be wrong too, right? But I certainly don't know what's going to happen to any given stock any given day. I don't think anybody does. Maybe probabilistically they do, but... Okay, so Exocel is the main asset here. Let's take a look if we can read. Read about it. Yeah, it's Vertex's drug. Hexagamglogene, autotemcel. I spent such a long time in the pharmaceutical industry. I have quite a lot of knowledge built up over the years, and I'm happy to share it with you guys. So when I was 16 years old, I started following pharmaceutical stocks in 2000. So I've been looking at these stocks for 23 years, and you're welcome to pick my brain on anything pharmaceutical related. I very, very much enjoy sharing all my knowledge. This stock, I don't know. I don't like. IBD and Crohn's is really interesting, absolutely. There's not much economic moat in pharma. It's really interesting, top tier. I'm glad you asked that. It's kind of a stick and move sector. There are very, very limited moats. For pharma, I like NTLA. I don't have 50 stocks I like in pharma. That's the one stock I'll say I like a lot. And then I'm looking at a bunch of others like RCKT, Rocket. There's a lot of stocks I'm looking at, but there's only one I'll really recommend because I've done a lot of research on it, and that's how I feel. It's just how homie feels. All right, I want to look at the data for Exocel. So let's take a look at CRISPR Therapeutics Investor Relations. I don't know anything about diet and nutrition. All right, so they actually filed in EMEA, and they filed in US too, so they have approval coming. Let's see, phase filed? Okay, economics, phase, IP maybe, admin, okay. I'm not a big fan of this company, but I want to reserve some judgment and make sure that I am up to date on it. It's important not to let your cognitive biases come to play against your whatever you're trying to decide logically. So we got the Climb 111 clinical trial SaaS platform. It depends on what part of clinical trials you're trying to do. If you're trying to do enrollment and study design, then there's Metadata's company. If you're trying to do recruitment, there's a couple companies doing that. Yeah, it's a competitive space, to be fair. All right, let's take a look. I think it's good to follow a niche sector because you can kind of dominate the intellectual landscape for that niche sector. It's hard to dominate the landscape for something as big as pharma, but if you pick something small like just rare diseases or just oncology, you can do pretty well, I think. All right, so this is supposed to be the open label phase 3 trial, 141, and Climb 151. Climb 151 is sickle cell, and Climb 141 is beta thalassemia. It's a 60-40 economic split, which is kind of interesting. So they have 40% of this drug. Interesting. Yeah, Andrew Jones makes a good point. Most stocks are pretty efficient, so you're kind of looking for a diamond in the rough. And oftentimes for every opportunity, I like to think about and try to explain why does this opportunity even exist. I won't get too caught up in that usually, but it is an important question. If markets are efficient and everyone has access to the same data, why is this opportunity there for me and not there for everybody else? And chances are that, in fact, there is no opportunity. You're wrong. So I think you have to, use your head as you contemplate that philosophical question. Okay. see the data for this product. Be quite helpful. Yeah, sometimes the market inefficiency is inexplainable. Sometimes it's because, there's a preconceived notion about a company's, product, some FUD, as people say. There has to be a reason usually for the opportunity. It's a private company, it's a public company, but it failed a different product, so people are assuming the rest of the products suck. There's so many different kind of ways to wonder and think about, well, why is this arbitrage there for me? Fear and panic is exactly the right one. Usually fear or panic. Panic and fear can go both ways. They can be bullish and bearish. Greed and fear, at least. All right, so here's the data for the Climb studies. 44 people with TDT. 26 had these genotypes. 42 out of 44 were transfusion-free, so pretty good. Let's see. 42 out of 44 with TDT were transfusion-free. 2 had 75% to 79% reduction in transfusions. Pretty impressive, huh? All right, 31 patients with sickle cell. 31 out of 31 free of vaso-occlusive crises. Damn, pretty good. The problem is that conditioning regimen, right? Otherwise this would be the biggest product ever, but that conditioning regimen. Is so brutal. And these are not fatal illnesses. I did get the vaccine, COVID vaccine. The sign-up link for Godel was provided 3 times in this chat. Let's see if I can copy and paste it yet again. This is the press release, yeah, company's press release. So very impressive data, but again, just a really vicious regimen that you have to go through. So I'm just kind of trying to do like a what if with Exocel. So I don't know. It's a really low quality forecast, but I'm just kind of curious if they hit this like pretty modest product profile, what kind of stock price would we get for the company? Yeah, it wouldn't be a lot. It would not be a lot. Exa-cel will probably be a niche product. So they would need CD19 or something else to come through. Yeah, this could actually be a short. CRISPR could still be a short. Unless they charge like $2 million for the patient, which maybe they will. $2 million, and then they could maybe get 100. Well, that's what I have. Bet they're getting 100 patients a year. Maybe they get 200 or 300 patients a year. Then it would be kind of worth it. Something like this. Margins would probably be a bit higher too. But that 60-40 split doesn't help them. So it would have to be about a $500 or $600 million product for CRISPR to not be a short. Interesting. This is, you can download all my spreadsheets on GitHub, so hopefully this helps you navigate some of these tricky investments. I have a model for the top 50 biopharma companies, and eventually I'll get to all of them. But I'm pretty busy doing things for my own companies. All right, I'm just going to play a game of chess and then say goodbye to everyone. So thank you so much for everyone joining in. Really great to see you. See if I can get my chess rating up a little bit. I need to get to 1800. Thank you all kitty cats for watching. My cat's asleep. Aren't you asleep, kitty? Poor baby, she's so tired. Why are you so tired, kitty? Are you working all day? Ooh, this is really passive opening. I should be able to bum rush him. I should play h4 right now just to show him who's boss, don't you think? h4, h5, let's go. Get hustled. You can take that knight, shit. What do you think? Let him take the knight? Like a boss? I don't need no knight. What do you think this is? Knight? The hell? Let's see, where do I put this bad boy? Sack? Hit him with the sack? If I put him there, I kind of lose a weapon. If I put it there, he's going to get the tempo. If I check now, you know what, I kind of like this because it might take the defender away, so fuck it. He has to take it, basically, right? He could play knight c6. Oh! The move! Wild move. It's not that wild, I guess it's fine. Okay. My dude. Hey, my dude. Oh! He takes with the king. Okay. I think you got some problems, my dog. You got some problems in your crib. Coming up in that bitch. I'm gonna gank about 10 rating points here. I don't think America's overprescribing antidepressants. I think depression is just a real medical problem, you know? All right, so what do I do here? I should just calm down, think, and win. If I play bishop h6, that's kind of an interesting move. but it's not that good. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Kind of like bishop h6, maybe g5. G5's a little wild, but I like it. G5 with G4. Ooh, G5 is good. G5 is the move. G5, rook goes here. Now what? The game of chess is like a sword fight. G4, not G5. Yeah, G4. Then G5. And then the king can move to accommodate, ooh, maybe even F4. This is an onslaught. Okay, what's he doing here? That's not going to help him because, well, I guess he could try to take this pawn. Then he's also trying to come here or something, but I can do this. This is kind of a wild move. The other option is F4. Ooh, F4 is good. F4 is good. Grading models, that'd be fun. Okay, there's a check. That's I kind of want that almost, right? I don't know if I want a check, but I'll move this guy here. You can take the bishop if you want. That's not what I'm worried about. Rook h1, and he can't stop the mate, right? Try and stop it. Do I or would I donate blood? Nah, not really. I'm kind of squeamish around needles, so it's better for somebody else. Okay, so after this, what does he do? How can he stop the mate? He can't, right? Mate next move. Wait, something's going on with one of my servers. I have to restart the server. What is going on? What is going on? Maybe it's just because I don't have focus on the window. Okay, that was a desperate attempt to stop the mate. A little nuts there. Still can't stop the mate. Kind of funny how chess works, right? Still can't stop it. My guy. Is this mate? What's mate? Check. Check. I don't have too much time left. Okay, maybe here. Cool. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.